Hello everyone, every good name is taken here and welcome back to another review. And today we got, as requested in the last review video, the Ferdinand. And once again, please let me know in the comment section down below which tank I should review next and upvote the comment that you want to see as well. And the tank that gets liked the most I will review next, as long as I haven't done so yet. And today is the Ferdinand, and let's just watch a replay whilst going over the statistics. So, the Ferdinand is the counterpart or a different branch from the Yak Panther. You can either go to the Yak Panther 2 or the Ferdinand, and the tank we are going to be comparing the Ferdinand to is of course the Yak Panther 2. And starting off with the gun, you have 2700 DPM. Which is about 300 less than the Yak Panther 2, so already a drawback here. You have 246 millimeters of AP penetration, pretty standard for those 128 millimeter guns of the Germans. With APCR you have 310 millimeters of pen with 390 alpha, and with HE you have 65 millimeters of penetration with 600 alpha, same as the Yak Panther. It's just that your reload is worse. You have 920 shell velocity, which is okay for an AP round. APCR only goes up to like 200 more, so that's quite okay. Your aim time is 2.26, so pretty solid, but compared to the Yak Panther 2 it is still worse, which has 2.1 roundabout. Your dispersion as well as aim time, your dispersion, stationary and on the move, as well as during rotation is the same, so snapshotting can be done in both tanks quite nicely. You have 1 degree more gun depression, which makes this have 8, making it quite well rounded on ridge lines actually, which is what I've noticed when playing this tank as well. Yak Panther only has 7. But it has 1 more degree of gun elevation, so you can't shoot half high as much. Your gun arc is bigger as well, it's 15 degrees to the left and 15 degrees to the right, whilst the Yak Panther 2 only has 10, so you need to move your hull more, messing up your aiming. So when it comes to aiming, this tank compensates with that gun arc. You are less mobile as you weigh more. You only have top speed of 30 forwards and 10 backwards, which is compared to the 55 forward and 12 backwards of the JP2 way worse. You have around about 5% less horsepower per ton, so the acceleration on both tanks is similar, just that JP can get faster overall. And yeah, camo, there's nothing really we need to talk about with these tanks, even though they are TDs. You rarely ever play them as true snipers. I would both play aggressively. Hit points of this tank is 1400 base, which is 250 more than a JP2, so you can take more hit point damage. And we will talk about the armor in the garage after this game, so wait out for that, because I wanna talk about some parts of this tank. But overall the whole armor is 200 in the front, 80 in the side and 80 in the back, so it is okay, nothing special there. And guess that's it with the statistics, and let's just finish off this replay here, which I was playing just some time ago, like 30 minutes. Yeah, it's just that E25 there, that Borsig. We still got an Emil and the KV4. The KV4 though is AFK, so I only had the Emil in support, but he did some good supporting fire. We're able to pick up that Borsig there with HE. Feel like we had to push on him. E25 there, being annoying as the tank is, tries to flank around. Also, has bounced a couple shots. We have bounced 520 damage, so this thing can bounce. Armor is being quite underrated. Bounced again. put one more shot in, and the ammo finishes him off, and we win this game. Which looked like it would be a loss in the mid part, at least to me. And was a pretty good game. 4.6k damage. Not a lot of base experience as we were playing on distance a bit. We got a bit of assistance here as well thanks to the ammo. Only missed one shot entirely. You don't need to really worry about your pen ratio. Cause let's get real, the pen on this thing is great. Like all the other tanks, 246 is pretty good. And if that's not good enough, then 310 will do the job with premium rounds. And yeah, just overall a pretty good result. And let's have a look at the tank itself and the armor. So this thing has more importantly the upper superstructure here. It has 200 millimeters of protection and is slightly angled, so it goes up effectively to like 210, 220 maybe. So any normal tier 8 tank will pen, at least most of the heavies and tank destroyers will go through here like butter. Mediums are gonna have a bit of a struggle, some are really low in pen, so they might not always go through here. Same goes for this plate and for this plate. You don't want to avoid shooting these upper things here on an angle. Low plate of course is a weak point. And this thing right here, if you look from above, is angled at about 45 degrees. And if you are familiar with the Tiger P, it has exactly that same shape. And if you try to side scrape with this tank, this becomes a weak spot. You can of course also go for the track, but if you can't see the track maybe because it's all down too, this thing will be your weak spot to pen, and you don't really want to shoot the side when this thing side scrapes because it gets pretty good armor. I've tried to side scrape a bit. I might see if I can try that in the game as well. I've blocked quite a bit of shells. Of course this tank has no side and back rear armor whatsoever, so track it and go around will go quite easily. But it's pretty good. I quite like the tank, and let's just go over the lineup or the equipment that I use and then go right into the game. So as normal, I go for adrenaline double repair kit in case I get tracked multiple times. Double food and fuel for that extra DPM. Normal ammo loader here, nothing too surprising. And for the equipment, I go with a gun rammer because your pen is good enough. You don't need that really. You're not gonna ram, so the fence system will be the choice here. I don't really feel like the camo nut is gonna do me too well because I don't play this tank passively, so view range is not a bad choice here. Of course, if you want to be a bit less aggressive, camo nut can work. I mean, 60 is still pretty good, but it's not for me. Gun handling drive here for better snapshotting. Don't think this supercharge isn't really needed as it has main AP, and APCR is not going to be shot a lot, so I wouldn't recommend it. Aim time is way better here. I use the extra armor in the replays. I use more hit points or in the replay, but I think this might just work a little bit better. Then traverse speed, of course, you don't want to get circled in this tank. Bit more aim time. Accuracy is pretty good, you don't need that. And then if you want to go for this repair speed, of course, if you get tracked, so you are less likely to get perma-tracked. And this is pretty much up to you, but I would go for the delivery system if I would have to be forced to. And let's just jump right into a game and see how this tank can perform. But as I say, I quite like the tank. I've done 10 games or so with it now, and I must say, I was expecting it to be worse. Of course, most people are still gonna go for the Yak Panther. It has more mobility, it has a better superstructure, way smaller, and everything, and it has more DPM as well. But I still think you should not just put this under the radar when fighting against it, especially, cause it can hurt you really, really big time. And Yamato Harbor here, so we can side scrape a bit a bit. We can go hull down as well. 8 degrees of gun depression is pretty solid. 1 degrees more than the Yak Panther 2. And yeah, it's not as slow as I thought it would be. As you can see, we are already up to top speed. It's only 30, but I mean, if you have this just clunk of armor here, you shouldn't expect to be too quick. And let's have a look. There's a tree fallen. I6 here. Fortunate bounce, I angled and he bounced because he rushed the shot. Of course, an I6 can easily pen this thing if he aims for long enough. And I am gonna side scrape here. Bounced again with his APCR. Don't want to use my adrenaline just yet. Just once he closes the distance a bit more. He bounces once again on the superstructure. So as I say, this tank can bounce some stuff. That was a fortunate shot there. I actually accidentally aimed on the wall. That's nice that that one hit. And let's finish him off. DPM on this thing is not as good as the Yak Panther, but it's still pretty solid. 2.7 is nothing to complain about in my eyes. Let's use our adrenaline here. Bit of a bad aim on that 49 there. Could have aimed it a bit higher for an HE pen. But we picked that up. I didn't want to shoot AP there because it was kind of a 50-50 to kill him or not with that shot, as our alpha damage is 460. Trying to risk it here a bit more with some HE, but he's now at least down to a 2-shot. That's pretty good. Stay still as well. Interesting bounce there in the back of his turret. I think we will have to push on this AT-15 here. Should not be expecting this, of course. AT has a bit more armor than this thing, but I still think this tank is better than an AT, just because of the overall combination of stats that this tank has, making it just way better as a trader. Fortunate bounce there from the ISU. Just hitting my track there, I believe. I would like to pick up that AT-15 first. So gonna load premium rounds here just in case he overpeaks a bit, so I can immediately kill him, because I would like to win this game, of course. And he does overpeak. Pantera here pushing on me. So let's see if we can just out reload him. We can. Max roll there, saving us as well. ISU has just shot. We high roll for quite a lot there, actually. That was super lucky. T49 picks up the T44, and we are able to finish this game with a really surprising result, actually. 4.7k damage, more than the last game. Got 5 kills as well, the ace tanker. That was quite fortunate, I'd have to say. That roll on the ISU there, pretty lucky. I think I might have been able to out reload him, but I would have probably died. Nevertheless, RNG blessed me here, and we were able to win this. We bounced quite a bit. Those 3 shots from the I6 here, the track shot from the ISU is counted here, but it didn't actually pen. So we blocked around 1800 damage there, which is actually our hit point total. We only messed up 2 shots against what was it? The I6 side and the Pantera there on the back of the turret had 2 failed HE pens, so we might have done actually more than this. But I would say this is a pretty good result, showcasing what this tank can do and kind of what it can't do, because it doesn't have too much DPM and doesn't have less as well. Not as mobile, but it's not too slow as well. It's a pretty well-rounded tank in my eyes. I really think you should maybe have a look at it if you have researched it. Maybe go for some games if you feel like this tank seems interesting to you. But of course, it is nowhere near as good as the JP2 overall. It will do bad on open maps. as long as you can't put it hull down or side scrape somewhere, which both it can do quite well in, but of course it has weak spots. Premium rounds are gonna go through everywhere. So yeah, I hope you liked this kind of review, because it was a bit more of an underwhelming tank. I would like to know what your opinion on this tank is in the comment section down below. Maybe if you think differently after this review, or if you still have the same feelings and thoughts. But overall, I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know which tank to review next, and see you all again next time. Bye bye.